Alvarez still on the ball near the edge of the D, hits a shot into the net. Julian Alvarez.
Caballero play almost in a defensive role. This has come back to Gabriel Jesus. He tries to run the goalkeeper and he smashes the ball into the net. That's City's second. It's Gabriel Jesus rifling the ball across the line. Aguero against Areola. Sergio Aguero beats the keeper, makes it 3-0 and scores his first goal since his return from injury.
Remember, if he tucks this penalty into the net, it will be his 50th goal of the season, and he'll move to 34 Premier League goals, and that will make him the joint highest scorer of all time in the Premier League era. Erling Haaland steps up, puts it into the corner of the net. Was it in any doubt? Certainly not in my mind, certainly not in Erling Haaland's. Now City won the ball back on the halfway line, and now there's plenty forward for them. And on it goes now to Alvarez. Alvarez still on the ball near the edge of the D, hits a shot into the net. Julian Alvarez got the ball on the edge of the D, rode a couple of challenges and hit it into the back of the goal.
Guardiol. It's Guardiol. It's 1-0. Manchester City break through the lines. And it's Josko Guardiol cutting in from the left, playing the 1-2. Bernardo Silva was looking for the shot. There's the follow-up. It's in from Foden. 2-0 to Manchester City, just before the hour. Towards the back post, it's going to be turned across the line. Josko Guardiol gets his second. El Araña with another goal off the bench to make it 4-0 to Manchester City.
Now City are into the penalty area, real opportunity for Matheus Nunes. Little clip over the top, and it's gone in off the underside of the bar with an overhead kick by Ilkay Gundogan. Here comes Haaland, and he tucks it into the corner, but Leonard goes the wrong way, and City lead by 2-0.
Hello and welcome to Matchday Live. I'm here reporting live at Craven Cottage. Tonight is a very special night because for the first time in 72 long days, we welcome back a legend of the show. Mr. Michael Brown, we are back together. We're doing our thing once again. It's been a while, mate. How have you been?
Who's doing it? Who's stopping us on these trips? It's somebody, isn't it? I've been good. It's a great night of football. Looking forward to it. It has been a while.
And he's also...
You can't even go about your hair or nothing today, can we?
72 days, by the way. And the first thing he says is about my hair.
Nothing.
But listen, he's bought some gifts because today at Craven Cottage we're giving back to some of our amazing supporters whilst also dissecting all of the action here on the pitch. Brownie, it's been a pleasure. I've missed you. We can't wait for tonight. Let's head to the studio.
Thank you so much to FG and to Michael Brown. We've missed our little duo there, pitch side. It's lovely to have them back tonight. Thank you very much for joining us on Matchday Live. Ahead of a 7:30pm UK time kickoff, Manchester City travel down to Fulham. And we have two very special guests joining me in the studio tonight. One man who played for both City and Fulham and also managed Fulham as well. So we'll get some really unique insight from Kit Symons. Hey, Kit.
Hello.
Lovely
Hi.
to have you.
Thank
and
you.
he is joined by a man that was described to me today by Sam Allardyce as the hardest footballer he ever worked with. It is Andy Morrison. Hey, Andy.
I've been called a lot more unfortunate words than that, so I'll take that. I think that's a bit of a compliment.
And he just calls you Jock all the time.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
with Andy Morrison, Jock.
Yeah,
yes,
send my
Jock.
regards.
Yes, will do. Lovely to have you both joining us tonight. Thank you so much. Okay, so let's find out now the all-important team news for tonight. So, City taking on Fulham only a couple of days after that game against Leeds at home. And City indeed do name an unchanged side from the side that beat Leeds on Saturday. So in goal, it is Donnarumma. 4 yellow cards now for the season for Donnarumma. Matheus Nunes will start there in the right-back position. Then you have what is becoming the familiar centre-back partnership of Ruben Diaz and Josko Guardiol. And then he continues to thrive. It is England's Nico O'Reilly. Then moving into midfield, it always confuses me. Nico and Nico follow each other in the team lineups, but it is Nico. And then our captain, Bernardo Silva. And then Tijani Reinders. And that man who saved us on Saturday, it is Phil Foden. He is joined by Jeremy Doku. And of course, leading the line, it is Erling Haaland. Will he get his 100th Premier League goal tonight? We are very much hoping so. So that is the starting 11 for City for tonight. So unchanged from the Leeds game. Andy, I have to admit, I'm quite surprised that they've gone unchanged tonight. What do you make of that?
Yeah, I think it's 72 hours. I think, it's not a big ask, is it? Because they've already just been ticking over the last couple of days. I think now with the sports science, I think really they just walk through things, maybe a bit of shape work. So, there's been total rest since the game. But, we thought might be a couple of changes and might freshen things up. But I think that's testament to just how good they were in the first half.
Yeah, because City were excellent. City dominated in the first half, Kit. But for 40 minutes of the second half, we looked like a completely different team. So many football cliches we could use a game of two halves. So are you surprised that it's an unchanged team?
A little bit, but I mean, also after the Newcastle game for Leverkusen, there was wholesale changes, 10 changes, didn't really sort of work out as we would have hoped. So I think he's thought this time, after a win, we're just going to keep the same Pep. So fair play, he knows what he's doing, so we trust in Pep.
I think I was expecting to see Ryan Shirky start tonight from the little cameos that we've seen of him, Andy, to the point where I brought him into my fantasy football team. Well, hopefully he comes off the bench with an assist and a goal. What do you think? Why do you think he's not gone with Shirky?
Of course, without being behind the closed doors and hearing the reasons and getting inside Pep's head, he's been an impact, hasn't he? And when he's come on, he's changed games and created opportunities. And I just think to change the midfield with Nico Gonzalez seems to have nailed that sixth position. Bernardo, for me, with his personality and the captain, I think for me, he's one of the first names on the team sheet when Pep picks his team because he knows you can trust him. Doesn't matter what day, where it is, what the weather is, Bernardo always turns up. And then you've got Reinders, and in that position there, I think it goes a bit unnoticed how much work he does because we know what Nico does. He breaks play up, and we know what Bernardo. But the runs and the energy that Reinders has, and the amount of times he arrives in the box and actually stretches the opposition, it doesn't get noticed by data and stats and whatever. And I think it's the only thing that's missing is that end product. And I think the manager wants him to go and get that goal to recognise just how well he has played without the plaudits that probably should come with I think how good he's been.
I think unfortunately for Reinders, Kit, he had such an incredible debut against Wolves.
Yeah.
We were all raving. The world was noticing how good that performance was. And I get you, it would be difficult to live up to that standard of performance every week. What have you made of Reinders this season?
And he's still making those same sort of runs as he did in that very first game against Wolves. But on that day, he had a couple of goals. Now, the goals we thought they were going to flow after that, and they've not really been there since then. So, which again, the manager has spoken in his press conference. He's expecting that to come, and he's quite confident it will come. So I think not changing him sort of makes sense because you want to get him into a bit of a rhythm to then hopefully get these goals coming. So I get that, but he's got loads of energy. I remember watching him in the derby, and he finds pockets of space as well. Him and Phil were both getting in behind the two United central midfield players and causing all sorts of problems. He can play a bit deeper as well, and he's got such a great engine. I mean, his forward running without the ball is probably his biggest strength.
I think that's the key, Kit, because we talk about Cherky, and I can't see him running behind, and I can't emphasise the importance of trying to affect the back line. That creates space for Haaland as well, if we can get them going back towards their own goal. And Nico's not going to do that, Bernardo's not going to do that, and Reinders does. And as I say, it does go unnoticed. From a football eye, especially from above, I can see what he's doing, how he's affecting the opposition, which creates space. And you're always trying to stretch him, especially when we get into that patterns of play where we relentlessly keep the ball. Who will stretch in behind? If you look at Nunes going in behind for the first goal, we need people threatening their centre-halves, which then creates space for Haaland. That's how I see it, and I think that's why Reinders stays in.
Right, tell me then, for all of us non-football people like yourself, Andy, what are we looking for from Reinders tonight? And we can go, that's what Andy was talking about.
Oh, well, obviously the end product, because if you've got a running 10, you've got a Cherokee who's a player, and then you've got a running 10 who wants to stretch the opposition. Again, he'll be judged probably by goals, assists, and and how he can affect their back line. The build-up play will come from all different areas, but I see him as. But we'll tend to see that sometimes, the runs, and we'll turn it down, and because I understand that as well, because the opposition have got so good at keeping the ball that the manager doesn't want us to try that sort of Hollywood pass, because they'll keep it. Even a Fulham, a Brentford, a Bournemouth, they'll all keep the ball now for long passages of play. So we've got to be choosy when we go, but we've got to be brave and try and I think that's why Cherokee comes in.
It's what Andy's talking about, some of the unseen things sometimes that people might not pick up on when he breaks the line. What it does, it gets in defenders' heads. We hate that. And suddenly you end up dropping a little bit deeper then, which maybe gives more space for other people. So by making it, you need someone to threaten and make those runs. And he's absolutely a willing runner. Yeah. Phil can do it from that, sort of 10 spot as well. He'll make those runs as well. And suddenly, so if the big man's coming a bit deeper, showing the feet or somebody knows to a running in behind, causes defenders all sorts of problems, and it messes with their head. Even if the ball's not played or it doesn't come all the time, it's doing a good job for the team.
Yeah, talking about the big man, obviously in terms of Erling Haaland world, 3 games without a goal is I imagine he's not sleeping at night at the minute. We saw on Saturday with Leeds the way that they tried to mark him out the game. They had, 1, 2, 3 defenders on him at different points. What does he need to do, Andy, or what do we need to do as a team to support him and combat him or work when teams are doing that? Yeah,
well, I think what Kit just spoke about there with Reinders making that run, I think if you can attract one of the centre-halves, because whatever said and done, we both played centre-halves. If I see a run, somebody making a run across, I have to go. But if there's nobody making that run, then one of the 2 centre-halves can grab hold. They literally wrestle Haaland, one of them, and then the other one can then attack the ball. But if there's a run that attracts your eye, then that'll create space for Haaland. So that's really important. And putting the balls into the areas. I wouldn't say he's had a catalogue of opportunities that he's missed. They haven't come. There's been few and far between the chances. But everybody playing that part and putting the ball into the areas where he wants. And I don't know whether that was maybe the conversation that we're having at the end of the game. He was maybe asking, I need more opportunities. I don't know. But the more balls we put into that key areas in between the goalposts, the more chances he's going to get.
Well, of course, we saw one of Phil Foden's goals on Saturday, that incredible one where he I don't know how he had the flexibility, but that came from that ball, like you're talking about, from Nunes. Obviously, with 2 centre-backs in the studio, I want to talk about the defence. We seem to have got quite a setback 4. We've seen quite a number of times now we've had an unchanged team, which has not always been the case with City. If we start out on the wings, Nico O'Reilly has just been a phenomenon this season, Kit, coming into the team, playing for England, being a regular, consistent name on this team sheet now. It's been a really impactful season for him.
I remember seeing him last year when he first got in the team, and I was a bit worried for him as a central midfield player, playing at left back as a young kid. I was a little bit concerned. But, it's ridiculous how easy he's made it look, and how he's absolutely nailed down. It was a difficult position. You have to learn the position, learn your role responsibilities when you're playing there. And there's playing left back, and then there's playing left back for Manchester City, which is a different thing as well. He gets forward at the right times and in the right positions. At times he's our most advanced player. Yeah. Sometimes you're like, how's he got there? He's left back. Yeah. And he's a young kid playing left back who's not even a proper left back, for goodness sake. But he's nailed it. He's absolutely, and he's obviously a good boy as well, humble boy. And I was reading an article from him today saying he wants to keep improving. He knows he needs to keep improving. You're not doing bad at the moment, mate, but yeah, definitely keep going. And he's got the right mentality and attitude.
With the average positions, I forget which game it was. It might have been the Newcastle game. He was one of the highest up the pitch for the whole game. Andy, I was so excited in the summer because finally City signed a left back in Aït-Nouri, and I was so excited that we'd actually signed a really decent left back, which we haven't seemed to do in a long, long time. And then Nico O'Reilly jumps in, and I wonder what Ryan Aït-Nouri needs to do now. Well,
he's got to wait for his opportunity. He's got to remain honest and work hard. And then when it does come, because sometimes opportunities come in ways you don't know. And I always think to myself, if Akanji, Ake, Gavardio, Stones had stayed fit last year, would Nico Riley would he even have got involved in the team? So you look at your pathway and opportunities, and sometimes things are just written. It's just how it works out, because I looked at when he put in, it looked like a young lad who was coming through and given an opportunity. And the levels he's gone to this year, I could never imagined that he could have set the standards he has. There's been games this year now when he's been the best player on the pitch.
Yeah.
And it looks like he's been in that position for years, and it's not your conventional left back. It's totally different when you play for Manchester City because you're always recovering. So our fullbacks have got to be great recovering fullbacks because they're never set. I think it's quite easy when you're set. You see your wide man, you're set. You see your centre half. That's quite easy. But when you're always recovering, and that's where we've been exposed a few times over the last couple of seasons in them wide areas from crosses trying to get back in. But he just seems to have just grown week on week, and then to go and a full international now as well, and one of our own. And it's a pathway for the young players there that are now in the academy, and looking at saying, can I get into? Yeah, you can if you're good enough. And when you get your opportunity, make sure you take it, like he has.
And I fully expect to see him as England's left back at the World Cup on current standings with his, other people, his competitors there. I haven't got a chance to ask you about the centre-back pairing, which is such a shame considering you are a centre-back pairing. But we're going to go over back to Fulham in a minute, and I've got a much more important question to ask you than about our centre-back pairings. It's the 2nd of December. Do we have advent calendars, gents?
I haven't got one yet. I've got to say, I'm ashamed.
Okay.
No, I know. I hadn't even thought about it till you mentioned that, Natalie. That's terrible, isn't it?
Oh, no way, Andy.
I know.
Well, I haven't, but I was with my grandson last night, and he was trying to open number 2 on day 1. He's 3, and I was trying to explain it doesn't work like that, and he had a bit of a tantrum, and I said, we've got to wait till tomorrow. But Father Christmas won't be happy.
Has he got a trusted chocolate one?
He's got something. I'm not sure
what it is. But yes, one day at a time, young Morrison. Thank you. Well, I do have an advent calendar. I have a skincare advent calendar, by the way, and I open it up. I'm dying to know. I bet FG's got some sort of football card advent calendar, and Brownie will have some sort of SWAT of calendar. FG, Michael Brown, over pitchside at Fulham. Have you got advent calendars, gents?
You got an advent calendar, Brownie?
Of course we have.
Yeah, so have I. I just like the chocolate, to be honest. Don't even celebrate Christmas.
we guessed that, didn't we?
What's Brownie got, though? What's he got?
You've gone quiet.
What type of advent calendar you got, pal?
No, lots of chocolates. There's lots of different ones, Natalie. Some little surprises on certain days. My wife brings something like a watch or a phone or a...
That's how the other half
or
live,
some
by
golf
the way.
balls or something like that, I'm guessing, because I keep losing them. I can hear you in the studio. Just because Andy Morrison's quite good. Terrible, isn't it?
I'd like to get a Michael Brown advent calendar next year. It sounds amazing. Right, over to you guys.
Thank you very much. Welcome back to Craven Cottage. Now, we've seen the Manchester City team news unchanged from the game against Leeds. Now, there was a little bit of a moment within that game where it was a slight wobble, 2-goal lead surrendered, but they fought back well. And there's only one place to start, Phil Foden. Unbelievable performance once again. He's back to his best. He's getting there again. He's playing football with a smile on his face. How impressed were you?
Yeah, it's first and last minute, wasn't it? For Phil Foden, getting into those positions. He's just waiting, isn't he? When he lets the ball go across. Great finishing, arriving at the right time. But there's lots of people in shock. There's all come to take pictures of what's done today. But, I think what it was as well is that celebration at the end, that fight from Phil Foden, that determination for when he scored, charged off to the corner. He's setting the tone, isn't he? Not only is he with performances, he's delivering goals. England squads, Manchester City regular. He's got everything, hasn't he? And he's so calm in what he's done, and he's come back fighting. Yeah,
it seems like he really relishes moments when the team needs him, and it's great to see. Let's move on to Fulham then really quickly. Of course, we're here at Craven Cottage, 7:30 kick-off, and we have got the Fulham team to reveal to everyone here on Matchday Live. In goal is Leno, former Arsenal player. Then it is Kenny Tete, and then it is Anderson, Bassi, Sessegnon, Burge, Lukic, Smith Rowe, Harry Wilson, Raul Jimenez and Alex Iwobi. First things first, we'll start with Harry Wilson. He's played so many games for this club. He's started doing really well. He scored a hat-trick for Wales recently as well. A player who's had moments in his career where he scored some great goals, and he's definitely a threat.
he's got a magic wand, hasn't he? I think that's the one note, isn't it? There was a few question marks whether he was going to play today. I'm glad to see him on the pitch. He does something that others can't. He's exciting. He gets out of his feet. He'll try a wonderful pass or he'll try a shot from long range, no doubt about it. So he can change games. But Smith Rowe as well, do you know, that number 10 position, whether he's central, they've got good players, haven't they? And here, they can cause a lot of problems. And ultimately, we away from home have not been great. So that's something. It's going to be a bit of a match. And you know, it sets it up perfectly, I think, tonight.
It has. It's set to be a very, very good game of football here today. Let's go back to that away record you were saying, because this time last year, Brownie, we were travelling around and we were suffering. As a club, we went through a really, really difficult period, arguably the most difficult period we've had under this management. It's a little bit different. We're 5 points off the top. I mean, I don't know about you, but I don't know whether we should be talking about title races so early on in the season. It's on everyone's mind, but it's just about every game, isn't it?
Well, are you saying we shouldn't talk about titles? Because I'm saying this is Manchester City. It is about titles.
But we just keep it quiet because the other people
it's about titles. We needed a reaction. We needed something of a statement. I think we were doing that. A bit of inconsistent start because of the squad and different players. You expected that a little bit, but then it was the away performance, wasn't it? At Newcastle, it was an end-to-end game, and that sort of changed it again. That's put us back on the sort of the back foot, defending a little bit, and now with that Leeds United second half, you mentioned wobble, but it was just a couple of mistakes. It should have been 4 or 5 that game when you look at it from an outset, but a good recovery. But now it's back on a test. This is a totally different game. If you looked at sort of the squad, there was a little bit of a rest in the Champions League. Then you're going into Leeds United, and it's interesting that Pep's gone with the team he has. So I say, right, go and get us a performance. There's lots of legs in that side, and this is a tough, interesting game, and what will the approach be?
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting approach, absolutely. I mean, listen, it's important to get a result here because we've also got another trip to the capital coming up soon. That's our next league away game. It's Crystal Palace away.
Are you going to do that? Are you back out again? Are you not?
That was my next question to you, Brownie. Will you be going?
I'm there all the time.
I'll tell you what, 1 in 72 days, but 2 in a couple of weeks. So let's head back to our studio right now. I mean, it's just started raining as well, Brownie. Can you believe that?
I'm okay with it. It's fine, mate. You know, we just got to deal with it. You might struggle a little bit, but it's okay. It's only a bit of rain, mate.
He's waited so long to
it's just a bit of rain, isn't it?
I'm happy it's raining. I never said it was bad. I was just reporting the weather.
The pitch looks perfect as well, doesn't it? You know, it's immaculate behind us.
Yeah,
and Hugh Grant, we might see him as well in a bit in front of the press.
I've seen Michael Brown. I don't need to see anyone else, mate.
Interested in it. They're all here today.
It's good to be back with you. We're going to go and spread the festive cheer as well by giving some gifts to some fans today in the away section.
Yeah, we've missed having the Chuckle Brothers back on here, haven't we?
Are you happy with the Chuckle Brothers?
Listen, we're happy. We can take it. They'll come for us all night.
I was going to say more like Ant and Deck, Ant and Deck or something like that.
What about Andy and Kit?
Oh, no, that.
We'll come up with a combination later for you two. Don't you worry.
No, I don't want any trouble with
Kit,
any of you.
Remember, Kit. We've got a bit on you, lad.
Oh, yeah. Shots fired, Brownie.
No, too immaculate.
We do not want.
Very
we do not want any trouble with Kit or Andy.
Thanks, guys. Go and get dry. Go and get dry, FG. Brownie, you keep, stronging it out there. We'll see you soon.
Thanks.
What's he got on you, Kit?
Nothing at all. Absolute nonsense. Don't believe a word of it, Natalie. Hinge and bracket, those two, aren't they, by the way?
They really are. I have missed them. I have missed them.
Like an old married couple, honestly.
They are, aren't they? They are. Okay, so the Fulham team news. 2 changes for Fulham from the team, obviously, that beat Spurs so well at the weekend. Lukic and Emile Smith-Rowe come into the side. Where Fulham are sat in the table currently, considering they're down the bottom end of the table, Kit, whenever we travel to Craven Cottage, I always feel slightly nervous. Now, we know that they've got a really good home record. We have got a better home record than we have an away record this year. But why do you think it is that I always have that little bit of unease? And we've got a great record against Fulham as well, by the way, a great record.
Yeah, we always seem to get the result, but it's never quite plain sailing, home or away, to be fair. I mean, they are a strong side. And I've got to say, I think their sort of league position, I think they're a better team than what their league position would sort of indicate at the moment. Just scoring goals has been their problem. this season for sure. So they're playing some nice football and they're having decent controlling games, I think. But it's just that putting the ball into the net. So obviously good win for them against Tottenham. They just need to start scoring more goals.
Andy, do you believe that if I read out a stat, I could jinx the whole game?
No, go on.
OK. City have won their past 18 meetings since 2012, which is the longest winning run by a team against any opponent in the entire history of English football.
Wow. Yeah.
Did I just jinx it?
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You're stating facts, you know, and I think, again, you know, it is. I mean, you know, everything points towards a City, but, you know, I just think over this season has shown us that, you know, we're not turned up with the same team every week. We're not. I don't think the manager's entirely sure what performance you're going to get, even from half to half, which we saw at the weekend. So, you know, it's going to be a tough, and as Michael's just said, you know, it's a really tight little ground, great atmosphere down there. Kittle know that, you know, they can create a great energy if they get up and they start well. You know, it's a hard place to manage the game, although we're the best at it, in absolutely drowning the opposition fans and that, because we can keep the ball and suffocate it for so long. But, you know, it's a difficult place to go. But I feel confident. I feel confident.
Also, before I was vegetarian, I had one of the best hot dogs I've ever had at Craven Cottage. It was delightful. It was about 12 years ago. It was very nice, Kit. It was very, very nice. I want to talk about Harry Wilson. Now, the gents mentioned him a little bit earlier on as being one of Fulham's key players. We know he's an experienced player for Fulham. He's had over 100 games for them now, Welsh international. You coached him.
Yes, we gave him his debut. I was working with Chris Coleman as the manager. We gave Harry his debut as a young 17-year-old Belgium away. He got a draw against Belgium. I think won his granddad a potload of money. He bet on him when he was born, I think. So
absolutely spot
to get capped for Wales, and that was the game that done it. Yeah. So I mean, he's a fantastic player, lovely lad as well, real good kid, and very talented footballer. As Andy was intimating earlier about him, he sees a pass and he can execute it. He's a terrific football player. Really.
Lovely goal at the weekend as well in that Spurs game. How key is he going to be for Fulham tonight?
Yeah, he is, and it's how we manage him. You know, it's obviously the turnover in possession, and you know, we were talking before the game about him, and I'm a huge fan of his. You know, and when I look at the Premier League in depth, like over this, but he has the ability. You know, we're saying sometimes you'll drift through your games. You won't see a great deal of him because he's not a physical player who's up and down the pitch, but technically he's so good. And his decision making is so good. And when it comes, he rarely misses the target if he has a shot and gets a shot off. It's always with quality. And he sees a pass if we allow him to get his head up and he comes inside. You know, he's got the ability to hit diagonal balls, to be able to clip balls in behind centre halves if Jimenez makes them runs. And he's been exceptional now for a long time. One of my favourite players. One of my favourite players in the Premier League.
In the Premier League?
Yes.
And something he can do as well is runs from deep. He times his runs really well. And I know he's a technician and good on the ball. He's a good athlete as well. He's actually quite quick when he times his runs really well. So that would be a threat running in behind tonight as well.
Yeah, if we're playing with a high line, high press, how do we combat
Well, exactly. Well, you got to make sure you see the run and someone takes the run, because he will, like say, he times them very well. So he's a threat on that as well. Like I say, as well as all the stuff with his great left foot and his shots and his passing, his runs in behind need watching as well closely tonight.
Who else are we looking out for in that Fulham team then? Who else do you like?
I really like Iwobi. I think he's a fantastic player for them, and I've been really impressed with him over the last couple of years. I've got to say, just for as a team player, what he can bring, and he'll do whatever's required of him. At times last season, they ended up defending as a back five, and he'd be the right one of the back five, and I'm like, he's like a winger really, or an attacking player, and he'd do that real disciplined job for the team defensively. His ball carrying is fantastic. We talked about him again earlier. He's a strong player and hard to get off the ball. He's one of those who he'll sort of stick his bum into you and you can't get it off him. Mm. You know, he's been, like I say, he's a real good team player and does a great job for Fulham.
But like you say, they do have a scoring problem. I think for him, just one goal this season so far. But they are countering that, Andy, by having an incredible defensive record. I think it's only Arsenal that have conceded less home goals than them this season.
Yeah, and I think that's familiarity in the shape. I think it's a similar back line. It's over a period of games, and you get those relationships, and as centre halves, and especially in the back four, and I think that shows in their record. And I think the manager has to take a lot of credit for that. Marco Silva, because I'm a big fan of his. I think just the way he sets his team up, he will ask them to play and try and play through our press. He'll put pressure on them to find ways of countering what we do, but he's very brave, and I think the players respect the fact that they're allowed to go and try and express themselves and play. I don't think at times, I think they bring on the mistakes and the opportunities for the opposition, I think, are down to them playing in the wrong areas. I don't think sometimes they miss the press and go long quick enough. They're very, very brave, but I think that's part of the makeup of the manager, and and he's done an incredible job there.
Are you a Marco Silva fan, Kit?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's funny because he's done an absolutely brilliant job for Fulham, but going back a couple of weeks now, there was a few little grumblings around because things weren't going, result-wise, wasn't going quite so well. And you're like, really? But then, obviously, one win, football's so fickle, one win against Tottenham and everything's rosy in the garden again now. So I'd expect a good atmosphere there tonight, and they'll be right behind him. Let's talk about his contract and stuff as well. So there's a few things going on behind the scenes, I think, but it seems to have settled down a bit now. But no, I think he's an excellent manager.
Now, he doesn't start tonight. I think Josh King is on the bench, but I cannot get over the fact that he's 18 years old. I feel like he's been around for a while. Yeah,
and he's brilliant. He's just so brave on the ball as well, Josh King. He's a joy to watch, and has been terrific this season. You've got to say he's another one who's done really well for them.
So he did play. He started in the Tottenham game, but he's not starting today. What do you think that tactical decision is?
Well, it could be his age. It could be, they don't know. Again, we don't know the sports science and the data behind these numbers and all that from the last game. Don't know what the manager's been told about. But didn't we need to take him out for a game? But you think if he started and he played well, whether he's picked up something, we don't know. But he has been, and you look at teams like Fulham, and I'm not saying they're a selling club, but as soon as something special comes along, and if you're playing in the Premier League regularly at that age, then you're probably preyed on by the top clubs, and I'd imagine he would be one that would be moved on. And it's
Emil Smith-Rowe coming into that 10 spot. Yeah. Behind Jimenez, who, someone who they signed a couple of seasons or a while back and expected great things from.
He's paid a lot of money, Kit, for him.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. He's not really produced to the level that I think a lot of Fulham fans would have expected. So, again, a big opportunity for him tonight as well.
And no Chukwueze tonight either, who played against Spurs and was really good against Spurs. That's the two changes there.
Yeah.
What do you make of that?
Not sure about that one. I don't know if he's picked up something or not. Yeah, not sure. I know he was very effective, certainly, but. Again, sometimes, like I say, we're saying about Pep, you may be expecting maybe one or two changes to freshen things up a little bit and give some people a rest and some people an opportunity. But so you never quite know. It's fascinating. When you're in that situation, so many games, such a busy period coming up now. This is the start of it, sort of thing, really. So. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see going on what team selections are going to be.
Marco Silva's going to sit down after the game with his staff, Kit, isn't he? And he's going to say what problems are City going to cause us, and what areas do we need to have certain physicality in, or what area do we need to have athletes in, where to cover the ground, especially if we start switching the ball and the way we keep it, because we can actually, teams can. We can just lay teams down with the amount of passes, and then we move them. They just go right to left, and who also it's the mental ability to stay focused and in the moment against City. It's like, call it dope football. You're waiting for the dope in the opposition to switch off, and somebody switches off eventually. And it might be that taking the young lad out, because you have to stay focused continually, because City will just keep moving the ball. So that could be behind that when he sits with his staff and say we need to change it for this reason, because every game's different, and City bring a unique problem in the way they play.
Thank you very much, Andy. Thank you so much, Kit. We are going to go back over now to Craven Cottage because Santa FG has been giving away some goodies.
Wow, me and Brownie have found our way in the away section. We are joined by Oscar and Oliver. Now, what we didn't tell you is you're going up against each other, but you also need to create a buzzer sound, because it's fastest answer wins. There's 3 questions. The person who gets the most right will win. If you get it wrong, you're frozen out, and the other person has a free go at guessing.
How does the buzzer sound? What would it be like?
Well, I don't know. Let's ask it. Let's see what your buzzer sound's going to sound like.
I go, ah!
Listen out for that, all right? Do you want to copy what he just did there, Brownie?
No, I'm all right, mate.
No? All right. And what about your buzzer sound, mate? Psst. Right, okay, yeah. Psst and ah. Nice. Okay, I like it. Right, so you two are both playing for a signed Donnarumma glove. All right? And the first question will be by Manchester City legend Michael Brown.
Are you ready? You have to give him a mic, give him a chance. The first one, is that right? What is Donnarumma's shirt number?
Oh, he
25.
got there. Correct. Okay, it's 1-0.
Rapido.
That was very quick as well, by the way. It was. You both knew it. And now it gets a little bit more tough. You ready, yeah?
Yeah.
Who did Donnarumma make his Manchester City debut against?
United. That was me.
I don't know, I was going to go there.
It's United. It is United.
All right,
Yeah,
I'll tell you what we'll
I
do.
think that's 1-1.
Yeah, for TV purposes,
1-1.
we'll make it 1-1, all right? Okay, this one, the winner takes all, and it is multiple choice. Your mates are at the top there, they're playing along.
Why didn't you bring 2 gloves? Just one.
I'm just a presenter. And Michael
Just
Brown's the one
wondered.
who got it signed for us.
Just
So,
asking, just wondering.
okay. Who did Donnarumma play more games for? Oh, yeah, go on then.
It's got to be PSG, hasn't it? If that's an answer.
Okay, hang on, all right, I'll finish the question. We've got your answer. Was it PSG or AC Milan?
Milan. He was there since he was like 16. No, but it's got to be PSG if you're counting like actual senior games.
We've actually set this up lovely now because they've both said both of the answers, which means only one of you can be right. Brownie?
Congratulations. You haven't won the gloves.
Oh.
Well done, mate. Congratulations. Did very well, mate. Well done,
I
mate.
can't believe
Fantastic.
you've just done that well. A massive
Oh,
congratulations,
there it is
mate.
as well, look.
There is your signed Donnarumma glove. How do you feel, mate?
Disappointed, especially when he's my mate as well, but yeah, it's fine.
Do you reckon he'll lend it you for Christmas?
Nah, he'll keep it.
Unlucky, yeah?
Yeah, he'll keep it.
All right, what do you think the score's going to be today?
3-0, I think.
I hope you're right. We'll see you in the away end soon. Thank you for joining us.
No worries.
Let's head back to the studio. We might have another one of these very soon.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. We all absolutely howled there. Is that the Michael Brown you know and love, Kit, but just a little bit mean?
Bar humbug, isn't he? The Grinch brownie there, yeah, absolutely. Can't do that to the poor lad.
They can be Ant and Dec now, though, if they want, because I thought they hosted that quiz section immaculately. Like, that should be a segment that we do regularly where we get people to just make their own sounds up. And the good news is that they're trying to give away the second glove. Why didn't they give the pair? They're trying to give the second glove away now, so hopefully we might get another FG and Michael Brown quiz-style show a little bit later, because they are giving away this man's gloves. Oh my gosh, look at the rain. Wow, that is chucking it down. Poor Donnarumma. I think he's wondering right now why he chose to come to the Premier League. But he, of course, starts tonight. Another man that also starts tonight is our Phil Foden, having an absolutely incredible season. Saved us on Saturday very, very much as well. You can see the full starting 11 that's on your screen. We're going to talk about Phil Foden in depth in just a minute, but just to run through that 11 for you, of course, it is Donnarumma, and then it is the back four of Nunes, Diaz, Gvardiol and O'Reilly, and then it is Nico, Bernardo, Tijani Reinders, Phil Foden, Jeremy Doku and Erling Haaland. So that is the starting 11 for tonight, which is an unchanged team from the Leeds game on Saturday. So let's talk Phil Foden, because what an incredible season Phil is having. But before we speak to Kit and before we get Andy's thoughts on him this year, let's hear what Pep has recently said.
How would you assess Phil's game at the moment? How close do you think he is to being at his best?
This season has been the Phil we met for a long, long time ago. The impact of that guy arrived with 60, 70 years on the training session and started to play was, oh my God, what a player, you know? And every year was better and better and better. 2 years ago, when we won the Premier League here with West Ham last game, he was the man of the best player of the league. So that season was the same as the team, but so you have a same season, but the growth of Phil every season is top, you know, for many, many, many reasons. So it's a joy, it's a pleasure, it's a gift to have him.
A gift to have him. Pep went on to say that he has a brilliant attitude and he has had a brilliant mentality since he was a child. He always wants the ball, he always wants to change the game, he always wants to score a winner, he always wants to help the team. You don't get much higher praise than that, really, do you, Andy?
No, and I think there's not a lot more we can say really than, you know, and just reinforce what the manager has just said. And you know, last season, on the back of winning all the accolades he did and all the awards that he won, you know, it would be impossible to go again from that, you know, in a team that weren't at the same level. But the way he's picked up this season, you know, and it's what we see. There's a freshness. There's, you know, his face, his body language, everything about him, and he's a leader now as well. You know, as he's progressed, you know, and I think that's what the managers are alluding to there now. Different personalities, and then your personality grows as you become more confident, as you age. And I think now he's one of the players that are on the pitch, who actually lead and pull people about and actually ask for more rather than that youngster. And, that takes some character to do that.
Yeah, this season particularly seems to be playing with authority, and I think the Leeds game was a perfect example of that and of what you're saying. He's a good enough player to drag a team that is playing poorly to a victory. I mean, it was a great ball from Núñez to him, but Kit, I cannot get over the body shape that he uses to score this goal.
He makes it look so simple. I actually spoke to him after the game about this goal. The finish was incredible. It made it look like just natural, like it was really easy, but
he just takes all the pace out of it.
It was a good ball, but it was fired in him at an awkward height as well. And just to open himself up and be able to finish it like that.
And he caresses it, doesn't he? He takes the whole weight out, because anything more, it's over the bar.
It's way over the bar. It's underside of the bar as it is, so it's unsavable. But anything more, it's either hitting the bar flush or it's way over.
You're actually making contact and pulling your foot away on impact so that you don't get...
Because all the pace, like I say, the pace is on the cross, so he doesn't need to put any more on it. But to do it so quick is genius, really. It was absolutely brilliant.
You don't want to talk about that goal before the game starts, but for me, that could be one of the biggest goals in the season now, for so many reasons. Because of the way the game went and the previous two results, for us to come away with that victory, 2-0 at 2-2, to have left that with a draw, I think there's a hangover coming into tonight. But I think this goal just gives such energy.
I mean, all brilliant. You know what he's going to do. It's a trademark Foden goal, and luckily Josko knew what he was going to do, because he's jumped way before he's even got to strike it. He knows exactly what Phil's looking to do, and it's brilliant. The timing of that is incredible of the jump from Josko, but it's a trademark. He knows Phil Foden. It's trademark Phil Foden goal. Just pass it into the corner. Brilliant.
I love that from Josko. I just feel like he should get an assist for that.
Absolutely, brilliant.
In terms of Phil, though, the nerve, the bravery in that moment, in that extra time, with the atmosphere of the stadium, when they're drawing, to have the confidence in your ability to say a trademark Phil Foden goal, to shoot at that point with that many people in front of you, that is a man playing with
also,
ability.
you see he wants to take the shot, but it's not on. He's got to take another touch. Someone comes out and slips, I think, as well.
Yep.
So it's like, and then he knows he's got Josko in front of him, but Josko jumps. It's brilliant, really. There's so much going on, but he knows what he wants to do, but he can't force it, he can't rush it. He's got to wait till the time's exactly right and perfect, which he does.
Yeah, amazing goal, and Josko needs definitely some sort of plaudits for that.
Absolutely.
In terms of him tactically, Andy, I think one of the conversations that's been around Phil Foden ever since he broke into the team is what his best position is. We've seen him play out wide, we've seen him play in the middle, we've seen him do everything, all three positions in one game. For you, I mean, he seems to now have cemented this position centrally as his best position. What is it for you that makes him best when he is central?
I think his ability to not just find space, we can find space and appreciate what's around us, but his first touch on the half turn is the best, I think. I think it's the best in world football, in the little pockets that he finds. And it's just there, just that movement. And you've got to know that what's around you, so you have to have that peripheral vision. But also it's just that ability to move it, and then it's the outside of his foot, and he does it continually. And, when we played Leverkusen, I felt we missed the quality of the 10s in them little pockets, and that's what he gives us. And, we've always, for me, you would say, what position? It's just on the pitch, get him on the pitch. And there's got to be discipline in your game. You've got, these finishes are sublime. And there's only so many players in world football that can actually, if we were to see that one again, can actually get that ball out of their feet and get the shots off that quick. I think we're going to see it. We see it again here now. You just look over his shoulder, that there, and then, it doesn't matter. The keeper can't get set. You're asking your centre half to get closer, but the touch is so. It's. Let's talk about the goal rather than the defending afterwards. You'd be hard to pick out your centre half kick, wouldn't you?
Exactly, because it's the way he receives the ball, lets it run across his body, and his first. It's away from the defender. It's so hard to stop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you'd be critical of defenders, but he finds those. But even the winning goal on Saturday, at the end of a crazy game, he finds a pocket of space in the penalty box.
Yeah.
How do you do that? It's incredible. And then, a couple of touches and the finish. But to find that space when it's absolute chaos and carnage going on around him, but his mind must just have pictures different to other people.
It's a unique talent, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, and he moves it over to the outside of his left foot before he gets a shot off. He kind of caresses the ball, and it's always in the right area to get the shot off. And you know, for years now we've been doing it, and we keep saying year after year about Phil Foden and where he's at in his career. Like, you know, and I think we've got to accept that you're talking about a world-class talent.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
And with his finishes, well, sorry, he can smash them. He's got a real good strike on him, but mostly his trademark is just that caress, that pass into across the keep line. He's just so good at it.
And I find him so unpredictable as well now. You know, it must be so difficult to mark him. And also, if you're going to try and put somebody on him, you know, we've seen that with Erling as well. All you're doing is opening space to somebody else in the team as well. But with somebody that's so unpredictable and it's got his speed as well, when he sometimes, you know, when he receives the ball on that half turn and he takes off, like how quick he's able to move, Andy. How do you defend against him?
Well, you would ask somebody, which is difficult in modern day football in the Premier League, to man mark him, to actually affect his first touch so that he can't get the ball. Can you affect it before he even touches the ball? Can you keep his back to play? But, you know, then you're going to start causing, you know, you'll have more problems elsewhere, because such is the movement and the way City play, and there's so many different relationships in the team that need to stop City. So to actually isolate and try and stop, you're going to leave other spaces open. But, you know, I said a few weeks ago, I felt like that with Doku, Foden and Haaland at the top of their game, and obviously Nick O'Reilly, those are the three players that were making things happen. And it's no surprise the three of them started on Saturday and we won, you know, and it is like, I mean, we could spend hours here dissecting and breaking down just how good he's been this year.
I would really enjoy that. Yeah, I would really enjoy that, but there is a game.
A big onus on Sander Berg and Lukic tonight to try and stop Phil Foden, but good luck with it, because what City do, I mean, on Saturday, Bernardo came right in. He was very central, very deep. Doku came in more than I've seen him recently.
Nico Riley's as high as you can go. But what Doku does is Doku changes the pace of the transition and the turnover. We keep the ball, but when Doku comes inside and he receives the ball, he always wants to go forward. And I think that's something that they've worked on in training. I think that's something that maybe Pep Lindis has seen, the change in speed from Doku on the turnover rather than the changeover and keeping the ball. Doku, he injects pace into the game very quickly, centrally rather than wide. You know, so again, it's something that they're working on all the time, looking to improve.
Andy, we're getting you a Christmas gift. We've decided in the gallery we're having a whip round and we're going to get a whiteboard with some tactics things on it. So when you're talking, you can start moving the magnets.
Yes, I know. I can see what I'm trying to say.
I know.
There'll be the glasses moving here in a minute. We'll all sorts going on.
We'll put it out across the floor. I love it though. You know, I love the way you explain football. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Andy. Thank you so much, Kit, as well. So we are just over half an hour now away. It's a 7:30 p.m. kickoff in the UK tonight. We are away at Fulham. And of course, you'll get your full match commentary from the wonderful Alistair Mann, and Chuckle Brother #1, Michael Brown, quiz show host extraordinaire, is at Craven Cottage as well. So we have, as I said before, a phenomenal record against Fulham. I'm not going to repeat the stat because I do think I am toying with it now. But let's have a look now at our last 10 goals that we've scored against Fulham.
Alvarez still on the ball near the edge of the D, hits a shot into the net. Julian Alvarez.
Caballero play almost in a defensive role. This has come back to Gabriel Jesus. He tries to run the goalkeeper and he smashes the ball into the net. That's City's second. It's Gabriel Jesus rifling the ball across the line. Aguero against Areola. Sergio Aguero beats the keeper, makes it 3-0 and scores his first goal since his return from injury.
Remember, if he tucks this penalty into the net, it will be his 50th goal of the season, and he'll move to 34 Premier League goals, and that will make him the joint highest scorer of all time in the Premier League era. Erling Haaland steps up, puts it into the corner of the net. Was it in any doubt? Certainly not in my mind, certainly not in Erling Haaland's. Now City won the ball back on the halfway line, and now there's plenty forward for them. And on it goes now to Alvarez. Alvarez still on the ball near the edge of the D, hits a shot into the net. Julian Alvarez got the ball on the edge of the D, rode a couple of challenges and hit it into the back of the goal.
Guardiol. It's Guardiol. It's 1-0. Manchester City break through the lines. And it's Josko Gvardiol cutting in from the left, playing the 1-2. Bernardo Silva was looking for the shot. There's the follow-up. It's in from Foden. 2-0 to Manchester City, just before the hour. Towards the back post, it's going to be turned across the line. Josko Gvardiol gets his second. El Aranya with another goal off the bench to make it 4-0 to Manchester City.
Now City are into the penalty area, real opportunity for Matthias Nunes, little clip over the top, and it's gone in off the underside of the bar with an overhead kick by İlkay Gündoğan. Here comes Haaland, and he tucks it into the corner, but Leno goes the wrong way, and City lead by 2-0.
All right, new position. Brownie's obviously gone one step ahead. It's time for another Christmas giveaway.
Got the platforms on.
I mean, look, you're looking tall. It's the tallest you've ever looked. All right.
Thanks for that.
So, first of all, thank you for joining us, both of you. Am I right in thinking it's father and son here?
Yep.
How long have you been watching City for, home and away?
Probably since the eldest son was born. Probably he's the youngest. I've got an older one here who's 17. He's here today as well. So quite a few years, yeah.
About 4 years, maybe longer.
Right, so we can see our goalkeepers warming up behind us, and it's quite a good one actually, this one, because we've got the opportunity for one of these fans to win a signed Donnarumma glove.
That's gone, FG. That's gone. We've just done that before.
No, we've got another one, pal.
We've got the other one.
We've got the other one.
We've got the other
one.
No, we haven't.
And it's, yeah.
Can I see?
We found the other one. He's going to get it out because he doesn't believe it, but that is the other glove. So what we must have done is asked him to sign both of them so we could give two away. Are you guys ready? Yeah. Okay, so it's fastest answer first. So before we start, we need you to make a buzzer sound. Okay? So you need to create your own buzzer. Dad, what's your buzzer going to be? Nice, creative. Do you want to...
A bit louder, really. Come on.
Do you want to give it a go?
Me? Yeah, you can try it. Go on.
I was never going to do that. Right, okay. Question number one, Brownie, take it away.
Luckily, he's got his warm-up top on. What shirt number is Donnarumma?
We need a buzzer sound.
You can beat...
I don't know it.
25.
Whoa!
Halfway there, look.
Spot on, right, you're halfway there. Okay. The next one. This is testing your memory. Who did Donnarumma make his Manchester City debut against? Oh, he's smart him. He buzzed and didn't know that. Right, we need an answer.
Wolves.
It's not Wolves. It was at the Etihad Stadium. What?
United.
Oh, you know what? I'll shake your hand, mate. Hold on. You just got him a point.
You've come into it here. He's got a chance of nicking it off the family.
Right, okay.
You can take this here.
Here we go.
It's in balance.
Here we go, right. The next one is a multiple choice. So there's two answers, one of them's correct. I'll say two correct answers. Who did Donnarumma play more games for? PSG or AC Milan?
PSG.
Okay. Are you going to counter it?
Can do, Carter. Who else was it? AC.
Wait, shall we just check just for another answer, just to check? Right? What?
AC.
Milan. Oh, interesting. They know the stuff. Unfortunately, you're not in the quiz, lads, but you've done really well. Well done. Thanks very much. Who's won it, FG?
Well, listen, AC Milan is the correct one, and that means Dad is taking away the glove. But I feel like you're probably going to rob it off him anyway, aren't you?
Probably.
Thank you, guys, and thank you for supporting Manchester City throughout the festive season. We're off pitch side to get soaking wet, and a massive shout out to these guys because they definitely know this stuff.
Oh, the best quiz show on TV, that. And so the only question naturally that I need to ask Kit and Andy now is, what would your buzzer sound be?
Wasn't a lot of control there, was there, from them two? Oh, goodness me.
Andy?
Beep. That'll do.
Mine would clearly be Aguero. That would be my buzzer. clearly. There we go. We can see the Manchester City team there warming up. Erling Haaland, will he get his 100th Premier League goal tonight? Considering he's in this horrendous goal drought of 3 games for him, I imagine he is very, very angry and very much hoping to score this evening. So we are less than half an hour, 25 minutes away now. 7:30 p.m. kickoff as City travel to a very, very wet Craven Cottage. The rain looks like it's been absolutely chucking it. Oh, it still is. You can see it. It is pouring down. But of course, we're Mancunians, so we are very much used to that. So we talked about Fulham a little bit earlier on and their perhaps difficulty that they have scoring. Very good defensively at home. Fulham's top scorer this season is own goal. Own goals. Fulham have got 4 own goals that they have. Well done to Fulham. 3 in the Premier League, 1 in the League Cup. Of course, Esteve Burnley was City's second top scorer for a little while with his 2 own goals that he scored for us in September. But own goals. So we thought this was a perfect opportunity to chat to Kit and Andy about own goals. However, there's a little hiccup in it because, Andy Morrison, you've never scored an own goal.
No, I haven't.
You sure?
I'm pretty sure. Oh.
I don't know.
Murray down, dragging one out of the Jock's looking nervous.
Out of the closet.
We couldn't find one. We tried.
No own goals.
Kit?
There's a couple of unfortunate incidents, Natalie. Yeah, I can't be blamed for them, but it's just very unlucky.
How does it feel when you score an own goal?
Yeah, it's not the greatest. I've got to be honest. I mean, I remember one against Aston Villa that. So I think it ricocheted off my head or something, and it was I was actually player caretaker manager at the time, and it was Juan Pablo Angel. So I remember
him.
Yeah, so I had to go and do the press afterwards. So they said, "Oh, what do you think about the first goal?" I said, "Well, I got my Angels all wrong," which I thought was quite funny, but no one laughed. But
that's very good.
I thought
very
so,
good.
Yeah.
You said that as the player.
I was manager. I was player caretaker manager.
And you scored an own
so
goal.
I picked myself to play.
And they lost, and you cracked a joke.
Yeah, and I cracked a joke. Yeah.
Did you get the job after that?
No, strange enough, no. I did very well, though. Good records, actually, yeah.
I love that, Kit. I love that.
There we
go. When you score an own goal, clearly can't ask you, Andy, do you apologise to your teammates, or is it accepted it's just one of those things?
No, it's normally they come up to you and sort of, patronising pat on the top of the head, and you're just distraught, and you're like, oh God, it's a horrible feeling. It's not nice.
What if Kit had scored an own goal and you were in the team? What would you have said to him?
I would have given a patronising pat on the back of the head and said,
might have been quite a hard one, though.
Keep your chin up, Kit. It's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, there's deflections, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
And there's different ones, aren't there? We've seen some classics where people have actually gone back towards the keeper and kicked it into their own net, and then you got ones where outstretched legs, or a header, an own goal. But I think sometimes now they prefer to give it to the striker, don't they, if it's on the way in, or it's on direction, even if it's passive and you change it. I think they'll give it to the striker more now than back in our day.
So apart from the patronising pat on the back of the head, what would you say to, or did you say to, Jamie Pollock? Let's take a look at this one. Oh, this is a classic. April 1998. Here he goes. It's an incredible finish. Kit, what did you say to him?
Oh, I wasn't happy, clearly. I mean, it was 2-2. We drew that game, and it was just, I felt for him. I mean, look at the poor lad there. Like, he's a great lad as well, Jamie. A good player, but yeah, not one of our finer moments. That.
Let's have a look. Oh, that's a great touch.
As he's flicked over my head.
Oh, he's gone over the keeper. It's an incredible finish in his own net.
That's some finish, isn't it?
It's a brilliant finish.
Gascoigne, like against Scotland, isn't it? When he clips it over and then.
If that's at the other end, that's a goal of the season contender.
It's brilliant, yeah. But it's not one you want to be remembered for.
Obviously, some own goals are really bad luck. You see them where they just ricochet, they take an awful bounce. But some of them, though, do own goals stem sometimes from poor defensive habits?
I'd say, do you know what? There's some players. I think Dunny has had a few where players, are very quick recovery and they see things, and sometimes you might switch off and think, oh, I'll never get there, but and then you might, and you're stretching at the last second because you think the keeper's going to miss it, or it misses the first defender, and you see things, and sometimes it's a quality where you might switch off and it would go and nobody would notice it, but that one where you're diving in to try and stop it or clear it off the line and it ends up putting it in.
I mean, the horrible one was when you're running back towards your own goal and a cross comes in between like you and the goalkeeper, and you've got a centre forward with you who's trying to get in front. Yeah. And so you've got to go for the ball. Yeah. And it's horrible because there's every chance that it could end up in the back of your own net. But you got to go for it.
Yeah,
Not sure if we invited Dunny on tonight. Maybe we did, and he turned us down. Andy, do you think? Obviously, we've got the Defenders Union on here tonight talking about own goals. Do you think defenders are judged more harshly for an own goal than attackers are judged for missing a sitter?
No, I don't think most defenders get judged. I mean, if it's like say unfortunately the Jamie Pollock one, you get remembered for that. But I think generally own goals are people trying to like slide in and block shots or stop crosses and things like that, and it ricochets in. I mean, you do see the odd perler here and there, and they'll be remembered for a long time. But
I think the one that drops over the striker on the centre half, and it drops in the fullback's in his position, and he doesn't see it till the last second, and it comes down and hits him on the knee or whatever, and goes in the corner, and you can't react to it. I don't think anyone would, because I think people, again, football, we know, don't we? We know what, which has been really unfortunate and unlucky, and.
Defenders Union, we're going to stick up for the boys. Stick up for the boys here for sure.
Can you ever look back and laugh? Do you think Jamie Pollock can look back at that now and laugh, or is it too personal?
Maybe now, but it was painful at the time, and I know, and obviously I was in the change room afterwards, and he was distraught. We were all distraught because, like I say, it was a draw with QPR that killed us, sort of thing. So, tough times.
Tough times. Well, I think we've traumatised you enough there,
Thanks
Kit,
for
as
that.
Andy just sat smugly. I want to have a look on now, of course, at the league table, because we are 13 games now into the Premier League season. What is that, third? Yeah, that's pretty much a third of the football season is now gone already, like in the flash of an eye. And the table is really shaping up to what I honestly think is one of the most unpredictable and exciting Premier Leagues we've had in a long time. Now, Paul Robinson was on BBC Radio 5 Live on Saturday night, and he said that only once the clocks go back do you start looking at the league table. I think Christmas, personally. But let's take a look at it now. So, this is the table as it stands. Kit, how are you feeling about the title race? Is it obviously with Arsenal, it's then us, Chelsea pushing us. Can you see anybody else trying to get involved in this race?
No, I don't think to actually win the title. I think it's the top three out of them to win it, I think, to be perfectly honest. Obviously, Villa started a poor start, and they've shown a lot of good form, but I still don't think they'll quite have a realistic chance of actually winning the title.
So there's some interesting fixtures coming up. This is the top three's fixtures for the next few games. So Arsenal have Brentford tomorrow, but then they're away at Villa Park on Saturday, and I've got a lot of hope for that from Villa. Then they've got Wolves and then Everton. So that Villa game is the real standout one there for me. In terms of Chelsea, they've got Leeds away this week, and then they've got Bournemouth away on Saturday, then Everton, and then Newcastle away. So that is a tricky period for Chelsea. That is probably the tougher run for Chelsea, 3 away games in there. And then, of course, we have Fulham tonight. Then we're at home on Saturday to Sunderland. Then we're away at Palace. We got beat at Palace away last year. And then we've got West Ham at home. So it's probably a more favourable run for us, apart from the fact, that Sunderland are doing, so well. But we do have difficulty against Palace. But, in the next sort of 4 games, we're probably going to get a good measure of Chelsea, Andy.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I'm saying 13 games still feels so early, and teams are dropping a little bits of form. At the start of the season, Liverpool started so well, and then you come into the run that Arsenal have had, and then a couple of little draws, and it affects it. We haven't drawn too many games, but I think it's far too early. What I will say, looking at that table, and I think I said it last year, that we talk about the treble and we talk about the 4 in a row. I don't think, with the quality of the Premier League now, I don't think the Centurions will ever be done again. 100 points. When I look at now the teams and the quality of the Premier League and how difficult it is to go to a Fulham, to go to a Bournemouth, to go away to West Ham. Now it's become so difficult, and teams have improved so much over the last 2 or 3 years. I don't think anyone will ever do what City did. I think that would be the hardest one to achieve.
To go to a Sunderland who have just come up, got promoted through the playoffs. No one's getting anything up at Sunderland currently. Yeah. But I'm loving that. I mean, Sunderland are the surprise package for me so far, Kit. Obviously, we know that they've got 7 players going to AFCON. Who else has sort of surprised you in the Premier League so far this season?
They've definitely been the main one. I mean, I saw them against Chelsea the other week, Sunderland, and they were excellent. Yeah, I've got to say, they were very, very good. And so that's the thing with Chelsea. I think, as good as Chelsea are, they're not... I don't think they'll reach that level of consistency to go and win it. I think Arsenal can have that consistency. I think they're more capable of doing that. But Chelsea can be a little bit hot and cold, a bit like we can be as well. At the minute, you know, as much as I don't want to say it, we can be a little bit, unfortunately, at the moment. And if we can sort of keep improving as we are, I think, and improve that level of consistency, then
we'll ask questions.
Shout, innit? That's the
ask
one.
questions. Yeah.
Well, it is. Arsenal do seem to be they're consistent.
The favourites, people, you know, the squad depth and people like that, people sort of favour them, and understandably, you can see why as well. But like I say, we've got to, as Andy says, ask them questions, certainly.
Absolutely,
and doing that.
And Arsenal go to Villa Park, like you said, on Saturday. And Villa obviously had such a bad start to the season, Andy, but they are riding high right now.
Yeah, they are, and you know, that was a difficult one again because we were playing well at the time, and then we go away and a setback, and then then you get a terrific result against Liverpool, and then a bit of a setback. So haven't been able to get that rhythm, back to back results, like which we've been so familiar with over the season. We get these runs, don't we? But it's still, when it's so close in touching distance, you're not looking at 8 to 10 points.
Yeah.
We win tonight, we go 2 points behind. Arsenal have got to come and play us. It's everything to play for it.
I say contradictory. It is early, but it is a third of the way through the season, so it's sort of not. But I know what you're saying. Everyone, we sort of talk after this busy Christmas period. Where are you at the end of that? And then that's a real telling point. 'Cause there's so many games, they come thick and fast now.
And of course, Arsenal and Chelsea are both in the Champions League and the EFL Cup, as are we. And there is Champions League games and EFL Cup games before Christmas, just to add on to the huge amount of Premier League games that there are as well. So we're 15 minutes now away from 7:30 kickoff. We are down in London, City taking on Fulham. You can see the starting 11 across the bottom of your screen. It is an unchanged team from the side that beat Leeds at the weekend. We're going to head back over now pitch side to FG and to Michael Brown.
Yeah, thank you very much. Welcome back to Craven Cottage. Our players have just done their warm-ups. Now, we couldn't help but notice there was a funny topic in the studio, Brownie, and I know you wanted to get involved in it.
No, I just thought own goals. You couldn't have got two better people, could you, to discuss it? So it's interesting, when you get booked for these shows and you realise which are the two best people. No, they've got it spot on the production side tonight, haven't they?
As you can see, it's great to see me and Brownie pitch. You've been in a great mood all day today.
I've been good. It's good to be back, isn't it? Pitch side, that's what you want.
Funnily
isn't it?
enough, it is very nice. We are very thankful to be back together again here. Funnily enough, as soon as the action stopped from our side, the rain started pouring and pouring. And as you can see, Mr. Michael Brown, he's got a few little raindrops on him as well. He was trying to wipe that off.
There's a few grey hairs as well, isn't there, dropping down. So it's
and funnily enough, he was the one that was quite upset about it. The rain stopped now. The action's about to start. How do you see today going?
Do you know what? I love this position, right? We've been here in front of these supporters for title-winning moments. It brings back memories, FG. Great place to be. But, right here, this is where we've just seen, haven't we, that warm-up. Close touches. Ryan Shirky just literally did a little drag back, slotted it through Bernardo Silva. It was special, wasn't it? They seemed to be on it. They seemed to be sharp. You see, Pep Blinders there was literally on them, wasn't he? Come on, raise the tempo, get them going. And I just don't know. I just seen something in them. They seemed ready for this one.
Yeah, it did definitely seem like they were ready. They seemed very together as well. And like we said, the quality was unbelievable, as was the shooting, which we just saw behind us a couple of moments ago as well. They were putting them top bins, left, right and centre. It was absolutely amazing. How important is that for a player before when you get your first shots off, when things are looking good? Does that add to the confidence before kick-off?
It's just getting a feel, isn't it? We've seen obviously the full-backs getting some crosses in, players on the edge of the area, midfielders, little sets, Erling and Phil Ford in little combinations, then just test it from different positions, just upping the speed, getting into the stride and ready, and that's all it is. I mean, that's just sort of just setting your tone and really getting the touch ready and getting used to the surface, starting to focus. The last few sprints and away they went, they realised, that squad of players, that they have to get a result on the road today, and they have to make sure there's 3 points. However you get it, just come away with the 3 points, because this is a type of game now where you look at what's happened in the last week or so, we need 3 points.
We do need 3 points, and we'll be back to you at half-time to dissect the first half of action, and then of course at full-time. But for now, let's head back to the studio. Brownie, go and get yourself a bit more dry for this.
I've got to work, if you remember. I've got to go do commentary while you go back into the press room.
Actually, funnily enough, I'm going into the away section with my dad, which is quite nice, and I can see him just walking down the stairs right now. So
he likes to get another couple of pictures, doesn't he? He likes the attention. So we'll see you at half-time.
See you soon.
We hope that we will see you both at halftime, loving the FG and Michael Brown show back on Matchday Live tonight. So we are 10 minutes away from tonight's 7:30 p.m. kickoff. You can see City starting 11. If you're just joining us, it is unchanged from the Leeds team. So it is Donnarumma, and then it's Nunes, Diaz, Vardiol and O'Reilly. And then in midfield, Nico, Bernardo, of course, captain, Reinders, Foden, Doku and Haaland. That is the starting 11 for City. You will get your full match commentary from Alistair Mann and from Michael Brown, who has made sure FG knows that he is working all through the game at Craven Cottage. So with 10 minutes to go, Andy, you know this is the point I always say I start to get nervous. Give us your thoughts. How is this game going to go tonight?
Well, I finishing off the way it did on Saturday on such a positive, and I'm a big believer in momentum, and even in games, you know, from the momentum, the way the second half went and how it changed when we should have been 4 or 5 up, you know, and I just think I've got such a good feeling when that third goal went in that it brings us into tonight, you know, in a real positive place. It gives the manager positivity. You could see it after the game, and I think they come in tonight really, really buoyant on the back of that victory. And I expect them to go about it in the same way. I expect us to dominate the ball, and I just hope we create opportunities and we put the ball and ask questions of their back line, you know, and give the big mannies the chances to score goals, because I don't want us to get into that kind of sleepwalking pattern or just continue keeping the ball, keep asking questions, keep stretching and get shots off, crosses into the box. And I'll sound like I'm going back in time in football.
Love it.
But let's go and ask questions of that back line and put, you know, and put pressure on them.
And we can see that back line there for Fulham there, 4 at the back, and then the 2 holding midfielders as well, Kit. What do we do? How do we break the 2 holding midfielders down?
Well, quite often City's movement, like we were saying from the other day, we flooded the central area to draw them out, and then people can get in behind them and Phil, especially, like I say, finding that pocket of space. Reinders, hopefully, with some forward runs, getting in, breaking beyond them. So we've got to move them about. I mean, they're a solid pairing. They're strong defensively, as we know, at home, Fulham, for a reason, because of that back 4 and those 2 holding midfield players. They do a real, very, very good job for Fulham. So. But we've got players like Doku. When he stays wide, if he gets at Tete 1v1, he'll call, any fullback in the world, Doku can cause problems for and can rip up on the day. So if we can start the game like we did on Saturday, it'll be very positive, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Start the game and take the chances would be lovely. On the bench as well, you can see obviously we've got Shirky, we've got Savinho, we've got Marmoush, we've got players that can unlock should we need to. I'm not feeling this setup on this side, Andy. How do you feel about this?
With the shape?
Yeah.
I kind of quite interested 4-2-3-1 and 4-3-3. I don't know how anyone ever comes up with a Manchester City shape of 4-3-3.
Yeah.
Because I got no idea what it is at any given time.
Maybe there wasn't enough room to actually.
Yeah, I don't think Foden will be there.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think. It'll be different. O'Reilly will be very high up the pitch. Doku will drift inside. It could be any permutations, but 4-3-3 is probably a safe way to describe it.
I mean, the only thing you know is Nico Gonzalez will be sitting as the 6, like he'll be the deep line midfield player, yeah, and then there'll be huge rotation in and around that for sure.
Yeah, unpredictable rotation as always. Where's the key battles for you going to be on the pitch, Andy?
Well, I think obviously the 2 centre-halves, Bassey and Anderson. Anderson is a good 6'3". Bassey's very physically strong. Both of them have got the physicality in a standing fight with Haaland, but when he's running, I don't think there's any centre-halves that can do it. It's different, Nat, you know, when you get into them little battles, physical battles against big centre-halves. But when you have a running battle where he gets down the side of the channel, he just has the ability to move people with such power. So that'll be a key battle tonight, how he deals with them two, because I'm sure they're going to want to get involved in a physical battle with him.
And then I guess on the reverse side, Jimenez has scored a few goals against us in the past there, Kit. How do you see the Jimenez battle with our defenders going?
Yeah, I mean, I think, he puts himself around. He's a good, honest pro, and he does a great job for the team. And he'll look to try and occupy and fight and scrap with our 2 centre-backs to try and allow Smith Rowe a bit of space and room. But our boys are, they're both big, strong centre-halves as well. We've got, and they can cope with the physical side of it as well. But they don't need to be at it, but I'm sure they will be tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, give me your prediction, please.
I think 2-1 City.
Nervy 2-1?
Nervy 2-1, yeah. Which I hate saying about it. Yeah.
Okay, Andy?
No, I'm going to carry on with the positivity from the end of the game at the weekend, and I'm going to go for a 3-1 win.
Oh, good, okay. But conceding?
Somewhere along the line, but I'd like to do it in the very last minute, 3-0 up now if we could. That would just that would save the nerves, wouldn't it?
Have you got any worry about the amount of goals? Oh, pause on that, Andy. We'll pick that up another time. We can see the players are coming out. 12 we conceded now this season. Arsenal have conceded 7. The players are coming out there into the tunnel. Thank you so much to Andy Morrison. Thank you so much, Kit Symons. Thank you all for watching Match Day Live. We always appreciate your company on the show. We'll be back at half-time. We'll be back at full-time. Hopefully we are talking about City hyping the pressure up onto Arsenal and closing that gap to 2 points. You will now get your full commentary, the only commentary you want to listen to. Alistair Mann and the wonderful Michael Brown. We'll hand over to them now and we will see you in 45 minutes.
Welcome to Craven Cottage as City face Fulham, seeking to move within 2 points of the leaders Arsenal. To do so, they would need a win here in West London, which, if they were to achieve it, would be, incredibly, their 19th victory in a row against today's opponents. An English record. They've won here on their last 7 visits. Of course, by contrast, the incentives are clear for the hosts. It has been more than 14 years since Fulham avoided defeat against the Blues, and having gained a great win at Spurs on Saturday, well, maybe they will certainly feel that they do have the credentials to spoil City's plans tonight and finally put an end to that extraordinary losing run. Game by game, when City have met Fulham, that record has clicked up by 1 more. And of course, along the way, there have been some very dramatic late victories, not least of which the penalty in stoppage time scored for 10 Man City by the man in your picture, Erling Haaland.